So by and large, you may not, as a president, you may not be all in all. You are not a technocrat. You may not be a technocrat. You may not be all intelligent guy and all of that. But what you do, that's why what you do is to put people who know the job to run the things. It happened in Jonathan's government, and what's her name? Okonjo, we are around the economy very well. Around the economy. Open, this account, SS crude account, put in, we're supposed to have a lot of dollars in there. What they call it, they put a lot of money in there. But at the end of the day, they took the money, went to court. At the end of the day, they took the money, went to court and decided to share the money and all of that. So, but what I'm generally saying is this. If you don't have a good intention, right? You have a corrupt heart. No matter how competent you are, it will not work. So God took me to the life of David. Shammah came, Adonijah came, and all the guys came who were the children of Jesse. But God said, I have rejected these guys. It was a 17-year-old boy in the bush that God accepted. He said, I want to accept this guy because his heart is good. He has a good heart. He's not competent, but in a process of time, he's going to learn the ropes of leadership. Don't kill a man, don't crucify a man when he's not competent. But instead, look at the man's heart. How do you know a man's heart? You know a man's heart majorly by two things. I'm going to tell you. It's not difficult to know. Number one, majorly by what he did yesterday. It's very simple. We are not ghosts or spirits here. What did he do yesterday? For example, the Bible says that when David was keeping the father's flock, a lion came. He tore the lion and rescued the flock, the sheep. Another time, a sheep, put after the bear, tore the bear and rescued the sheep. So that is a man who has a good heart, that is interested in the life of the sheep. He's not interested in his own safety. He's interested. It's the same thing. I want to lay down the marker today. If you want to vote, don't vote based on religious lines. Say, oh, they're Christian. No, that's not the point. Don't vote based on tribal lines. Don't vote based on family lines. Vote based on the heart. All the frontliners now lining up for next year. Are they spirits? I'm asking you. Have they not at one point held positions before? Don't you know what they said and what they did? You know them now. So you are able to know if they have a good heart or they don't have a good heart. Simple. It's as simple as that. The second way to know, what is the person saying? What is the person saying? What is he saying out of his mouth? How do you know the content of a man's heart? How do you know the content of a man's heart? You know the content of a man's heart based on what he says. I've been your pastor now for a year plus. Ideally, by now, you should know the kind of person I am. Based on the things I say repeatedly, based on the things I have done in the past, right? Based on my antecedents, you are able to say, okay, this is the kind of person this person is. You are able to draw the line. It's as simple as that. So God taught me that about leadership. So I look at the heart. And that's what Jesus is about the heart. It's about the heart. It's about the heart. The others can fall into place. Competence and, whether it's tall or whatever, experience can come into play later. So I've talked about capacity. Capacity is the ability to to reproduce or to produce. Now, let's go to the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 1. So, stop praying for money. Money do not answer to prayers. I said, I'm going to shred your theology. That's the truth. Some of you spend time praying God to give you money. No. God does not give money. What God, ability, talents, resources, it is your responsibility to use the resources to produce money. When it comes to money, money is an infinitesimal, a negligible part of God. God did not create money. It is man that created money. What God created, listen, read the scriptures. What God created was natural resources. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Natural resources. For example, out of the trees, you go and fetch wood and make the chairs. God did not create cars. What he created was iron ore. Natural resources. That's what he created. So, out of what he created was the fruit. But you go pluck the fruit like an orange, right? And you take it home and you squeeze it. You put it in a blender or something and you grind it and you come up with what we call an orange juice. That's what he does. So you can therefore sell the orange juice for money. Are you aware that you can buy orange for 100 naira? By the time you finish processing it into a juice, you can sell it for 1K. Are you aware of that? So that is money. God give me money. God give me money. No. What God will give to you is to lead you to a natural resource that you are supposed to use to produce money for yourself. I'm going to mention 5 brands. And I'm going to let you know that these brands are not brands that talk about, they didn't multiply based on prayer. Number 1, Apple. Making iPads and iPods, iPhones, and making these fantastic gadgets. Steve Jobs, how did he get into that business? Steve Jobs listen to the story. He went into a room and he saw this big computer, big one, almost filling the room. And a thought came to him and said, why can't this big computer be smaller? Why can't it be